I can do that. Easy. Hey man, let me show you what you're doing wrong. Hang tight, I'm gonna come get that board.
Okay.
Hand it over, Pops.
Really?
Yeah.
You want this?
No, I'll be fine without it.
Oh, okay.
Hey Hawk, welcome to the Eagle's Nest.
Wait, no.
Call 911! Call 911!
Why'd you let me do it, man? I'm not even wearing a helmet. Hey guys, my new tour, Come Together, starts December 30th in Honolulu, Hawaii. This is the first leg of tour dates. So many more to come. You can get tickets at tomsegura.com/tour. I can't believe I did it. Oh man, I'm gonna need another nerve transfer. What's your blood type, Tony?
Not yours.
I can see my dad.
This week on Two Bears, One Cave.
He says I'm an alcoholic. Edit this out.
Yeah, Drew.
Whoa, Steve-O, what's happening, buddy? I haven't seen porn that has more intensity than that.
As long as it breaks, you're cool. If it
If
doesn't,
it doesn't break,
that's
you get knocked
nothing.
unconscious.
Huberman's got to be disgusted with you.
Huberman doesn't know what to do with me. 100%. Cheers. Hey guys, brand new episode of Two Bears, One Cave. Fan favorite Steve-O's with us today. And he's got a new special. What is it? What's the name of the special?
Steve-O's bucket list.
Oh, that's right. Holy shit. It is insane. It is insane. You know, a long time ago we talked about, was it this special?
No, it was my one before. That was my gnarly special. The one that you came over to the house to watch.
Yes. And you consistently are changing the genre of stand-up. You're doing it your own way, which I think is so cool because you got to stand up late in life and you were making it your own, which is so impressive. So many of us, and I say us, just comics, like so many people, and I just had a long conversation about this the other night, see the path in the forest and they walk down that path thinking, well, that's how you get to the water, realizing if everyone's going to the same lake, the water's going to be low. If everyone's walking down that exact same path, you get to the water, everyone's drinking out of the same fucking water. Sometimes people are pissing in it. You've taken a new path in the forest every time, and I think that's so fucking impressive, dude.
Thanks, man. Yeah, dude, we had, like, it's multimedia the way that I do my comedy.
Yeah.
And that was a gradual thing. My first special, I did some fucked up shit on the stage, but it was just me and a microphone and what happened on the stage.
Let's talk about the origins of you as a live entertainer, because I think this is interesting. You had, during Jackass, when you were partying, you would go to bars and light yourself on fire.
Way before Jackass.
Oh, before Jackass.
Yeah, I mean, my entertainment career in a professional sense started when I went to Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Clown College in 1997, which was in Sarasota, Florida.
That is, P.T. Barnum is a game changer.
Oh yeah,
That man. You know, I heard a story about him. There was a giant. Someone to disprove religion buried a huge stone giant in their backyard, and then had people dig it up. This is like in the turn of the century, when P.T. Barnum was big, and it was called the Breitling Giant or something. And they dug it up, and then everyone thought it was real. They thought that the Bible was real, that there were giants that walked the earth before, and he put it on display. P.T. Barnum offered him $50,000 to buy that giant so he could put him in his museum in New York City, and the guy said no. And P.T. Barnum simply built a replica and then said, I've got the original one, that one's a fake. And people just bit. And then because of P.T. Barnum, they found out his was fake. That guy's a fucking. When you go to clown college, do you take classes in promotion is there like a history class?
I mean, it was considerably more akin to boot camp than college.
Really?
It was like 8 weeks. It was a big tax write-off for the circus. For the course of those 8 weeks, with the exception of Sundays, 6 days a week, we trained 14 hours a day.
Like unicycles and stuff?
They would break up the day. It would be in the, like, whatever, it was being in a big theater, the Sarasota Opera House. We'd be in there at 8 a.m. We'd do like a morning workout, like stretching, whatever. We would have like hours broken down for like acrobatics, dance, improv, skills, circus history, and the makeup. They didn't teach us any makeup. They on the very first day of clown college, they gave us all makeup kits, and they said you will receive no instruction. Just like that would be against how it works. You just gotta figure it out. No instruction. You figure it out today, and then you do it again tomorrow, and you do it again. Then by the time you're done, you will have arrived at what your makeup is. The way that you do it.
Oh wow!
And
is there a picture of you with your makeup?
Oh yeah, there's a million of them. And the thing is, the grease paint, it like a little goes a long way, and nobody's gonna respect like how. So like it's almost a ritual.
It's like anal sex.
It was like an absolute ritual where when everybody gets done with their first try, they're waiting with cameras at the room. So you walk out of the room and they take your picture, and everyone's just a goddamn mess.
Really?
But after the 8 weeks, everybody's top notch.
And so, I think people forget. There's a clown, if I'm not mistaken, I think his name is Mr. Noodle. He was on, can you please Google Mr. Noodle? He's got a scholarship. He's got a MacArthur grant. Mr. Noodle. He's like the world's greatest clown.
Is that Bill Irwin?
Yeah, Bill Irwin.
Bill Irwin. He went to clown college.
My daughter made me laugh.
He was a graduate of clown college. He's one of like, I want to say 4 people who became. There's Bill Irwin. Penn Jillette is a clown from clown college. Yeah, and me. And I'm not sure that there's anybody else that has like people really know them. But yeah, Bill Irwin's the most talented fucking dude ever.
My daughter made me laugh so hard when she was like 3 years old, maybe just old enough to barely talk. She said, "You know Mr. Noodle?" And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "Do you know what his brother's name is?" I said, "No." "Do you know what his brother's name is?"
No.
Mr. Noodle. It made me giggle. So I every time I think of Mr. Noodle, his brother's name is Mr. Noodle. But,
yeah.
So wait, so you're in clown college, and I just find this interesting. And obviously, there's so much I want to talk to you. I want to talk about I want to talk about your animal sanctuary. I want to talk about sex sobriety and food sobriety and all the different sobrieties you have.
Sure. That's the one where me on the right is my first ever attempt. And apologies for alienating people who are only listening on audio and don't have the visual component.
It looks like a chick who got a train run on her by the Wu-Tang Clan.
It looks like a guy who just went down on a woman at the worst part of the month and like with a world record flow.
Yeah. Is that you too?
Yeah, that's my graduation photo from clown college there, where I'm like, they designed my deal as like kind of a punk rock clown.
That's not bad.
It's pretty cool.
And so I have a fear of clowns, but that doesn't bother me. What do
you think of Insane Clown Posse?
I met one of the guys. Scary Jay?
Violent J.
Violent J?
Violent J is in town right now to shoot a music video with me tomorrow for the song that we recorded because I'm resurrecting my rap career. Not resurrecting it, I'm redeeming what happened. When I first decided I'm going to be a rapper, like I'm just going to be like comedy gangster rap. There was a good idea.
I think I remember that phase.
Yeah,
I remember you took I remember, is that the same time when which I have a visual of all the time, when you wrapped your dick in duct tape for Howard Stern?
That was one of a million things I did for Howard Stern. But the idea was a good idea. But the problem was at the time I was just so deep in the grips of drugs and alcohol that it like all the like quality of the funny just was lost.
When you got sober, was there a part of you that regret, like looked back and goes, man, do you look back and go, I wasted a lot of years? Or do you have to look at some of it and go, it's crazy that all that got me to here and I'm really happy today.
Well, yeah, it's just Back to the Future, bro. You don't want to mess with the space-time continuum and fuck up what you got going right now.
Yeah, because I texted you the other day. You posted a picture about aging, and I was like, dude, you are not supposed to be here.
Yeah, I get it. And that meant a lot to me too, bro. It really did.
Well, you're a special dude. You really are. First of all, I've been a fan for a very long time, for a very, very, very long time. To have you as a friend is insane to me because it speaks. I just never thought that would happen. But more importantly, to see you deal with some issues I'm dealing with in life. Like aging is a motherfucker. And getting older is a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And the fact that you even said that you like, we were talking about food earlier, and the fact that you even, because you're in great shape. You've always been in great shape. Oh, what do you mean?
I fluctuate.
Oh,
I
dude,
fluctuate.
You want to see fluctuation?
Yeah, but so anyway, but now I'm doing the rap thing properly, like writing like funny songs. I've got one I did with Violent J. It's you tell me what I should make the title. It was going to be called "I Love My Girl," but it's a song about how wonderful she is, except for that 1 week a month.
Yeah,
when the demon.
I would just title it.
Yeah, no, well, maybe that's the hook.
And then that's the play on words is you're really talking about the blood coming out of the. But I wonder if I have to bleep this. It sounds pretty aggressive.
Yeah, that's an aggressive word for you'll get maybe demonetized. You want to definitely bleep that one word.
And everyone will think it's the N-word.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just fun and funny, like yeah, I mean, I'm just excited. But Violent J, man.
He's great. I met him in Detroit. He came to a show. Very sweet dude. No makeup.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Then that's I've still never laid eyes on him without makeup, but I'm imagining that this week I will.
He's got a Clerks vibe to him.
He's the best, dude.
Yeah.
He's the best. You should get him on here.
I would love to. He was
Birdcast.
just at Skanks Fest.
Yeah.
He did an episode of Skanks Fest, and I watched clips, and he's fucking hilarious.
Dude, that's epic, man. Like, I can link you guys up, or
yeah, please. I find guys like that. I find Insane Clown Posse legit insane. They have a hardcore fan base. You look at Insane Clown Posse.
Oh my God.
I don't want to. I'm simply correlating them to other groups that I find that have diehard fans.
You want to talk about marketing and the genius of marketing. These guys revolutionized the music industry.
Because if you whittle everything down, you look at the way, like, Tom's always done things on a very big level. Like he always does things. He wants it to feel professional, look professional. You were someone that I always felt like did it yourself. You wanted control of it. I feel I'm a little bit that way, and I feel Insane Clown Posse's got that. Like they've got this like, dude, we know how to talk to our fans, and that's what we do. And don't tell us we're drinking Faygo. I understand that it's hard to get, but it's what we like. I love Faygo, by the way. I fucking love Faygo. I love Faygo.
Yeah.
Faygo and Shasta are my two favorite sodas. Without a doubt, I've been drinking a lot of Diet Shasta. Do you drink diet drinks?
Nope.
Not at all?
Soda's just a no-fly zone, man.
Why?
I mean, it's just stupid.
But it's so good.
Yes, I mean,
But
dude, I drink
hold on.
Liquid Death.
Liquid Death is fucking...
I mean, dude, a wise man once said that water is the only beverage. Water is the only beverage of the wise man, period.
Who's that? Who said it? Jesus?
I don't know. Somebody smart. Like, there's literally no reason to drink a fucking drink other than water.
What about coffee?
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, so let's talk about treats. When you have... So I'm certain you have my brain, and... I know, like, what are your treats? Like, what do you reward Steve-O with?
This depends. You asked me before we started recording, what's my diet like? And it's, like, basically polar extremes. There's me, like, when I'm in a good place, and me when I'm in a bad place.
Wait, you always seem like you're in a good place to me.
I mean...
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This time of year can be a lot. And it's natural to feel some anxiety, a little sadness about it. But adding something new, a positive, to your life can counteract with some of those feelings. Therapy can be a bright spot amid all the stress and change, something to look forward to make you feel grounded, to make you feel like you have the tools to manage everything going on. I was talking to my daughter today. She's at college, and she was saying that everyone everyone's talking about seasonal depression. And I went, yeah, that's right. And it's getting darker and you can't spend as much time outside as you did earlier. It gets darker earlier. It's colder. Everyone's inside. I told her what I'll tell you right now. Therapy is fantastic for that. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Find your bright spot this season with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/bears today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bears. We are supported by Black Buffalo Zero. If you're 21 and older and chew or dip like me, check out award-winning tobacco alternative Black Buffalo Zero. It's everything. I got it right here. It's everything you love about dip and nothing you don't. No compromise. They got long cuts, pouches made from edible green leaves, food-grade ingredients. Black Buffalo sells their products online and ships directly to your door at blackbuffalo.com. You can use our promo code 2bears for 15% off your first order. Black Buffalo also sells their products in thousands of retailers across the United States. Check out the store locator to find a location near you. We were on the road, we were jonesing, and we got one from an AM PM. That easy. Honor your rituals. Ooh. Honor your rituals. I love that because there are so many rituals that go along with this. Honor your rituals with Black Buffalo Zero. Wow, blood orange smells amazing. One last time. That's 15% off your first order with code 2bears at blackbuffalo.com. Black Buffalo Zero products are intended for adults aged 21 and older who are consumers of nicotine or tobacco. God, dang, that smells good.
With my diet, like, you know, dude.
Give me a meal. Give me a meal that you're proud of and a meal you're not proud of.
Okay.
And I'll go Dad.
Okay. I'm pretty proud of Taco Bell. I think that's that's like the best.
That's one of my unproud meals.
I think that Taco Bell's actually, like, when it comes to fast food, like the healthiest, because like what I'm ordering there doesn't have like the meat. I'm not gonna eat the meat, so
That's
I'll
right.
get like
are you vegan?
I eat seafood, but
Okay. So wait, what do you eat at Taco Bell? Because
okay.
their bean burrito's pretty fucking legit.
Veggie Power Bowl. You know, right there, it's like, it's I mean, or bean burrito, Fiesta, veggie burrito. Flour's like not something I'm super proud of, like, but it's not like deep fried, you know.
Okay,
like,
mine's four Mexican pizzas. I fuck up Mexican pizzas. And then my favorite thing they have is they stopped making it, but you can get it. It's a beef Mexi Melt. It's basically a beef soft taco with just cheese. Beef Mexi Melts was like the fucking shit when they had it. The day they discontinued, it's funny, I remember the day Tupac died and the day they discontinued Mexican pizzas at Taco Bell. I remember.
Was it the same day?
No, it wasn't. You would have seen me in a fucking hate spiral. I would have been fucking hurting that day. I went out and I bought a ton of Mexican pizzas. Snack food, like fast food for me, is always bad. I can't find any good fast food.
Oh, dude, you're not going to the right part of the convenience store, dude. There's there are these like
what?
Kind of healthy, like protein bars kind of thing. Like,
I think they're all bullshit.
When I'm in a good place, like that, like what are they called? Like Quest bars.
Oh, Quest, fucking legit.
Quest stuff,
They're
like,
good
dude,
as
I don't know
fuck.
how it's so good, and there's like no sugar in it.
It's
that
got
blueberry cobbler one is insane. Quest bars,
dude. Quest has a maple
and then there's
sugar one.
Then there's this Barbell brand that has like cashew. You know, it's like kind of healthy candy bars.
Yeah,
and I'm down with that. Yeah. When I'm in a bad spot, I'm just wiping out the Reese's peanut butter cups.
It's the best feeling in the world.
Like,
I've never been on like a full drug bender, but dude, when I wake up from a nap and I'm in a bad spot, I will suck down whatever candy bars are around until I'm physically ill.
Right. I mean, I've never even come close. I couldn't even imagine like a number of Reese's peanut butter cups where I would like tap out and be like, oh, I can't eat anymore.
I will eat them until they're gone.
Right.
Can I tell you the lowest my daughters have ever seen me? Like the lowest. And I'm talking drugs, alcohol, fucking any addiction. LeeAnn, one time we were in Alabama, and LeeAnn made 2 plates of cookies. It's Cowhead. Isn't that crazy?
Calta?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Answer him, man. I fucking love that motherfucker. Yeah.
Two buddies together.
Dude, he came to my show, and I sent pictures of us together on stage.
He's got the same tattoo as you do.
Yeah.
The grinder one.
We matched them because
Yeah.
we're really good friends.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll call you later.
All right, later, buddy.
I love you.
Yeah, dude.
So LeeAnn made, my mouth's watering telling you the story. But LeeAnn made 2 plates of cookies, one to take out the next day, and then one for everyone to share. And I ate roughly 24 cookies. I ate the whole plate, and I was physically ill. And Isla walked in and said, "Where did the second plate of cookies go?" I had woken up from a nap. I'd been drinking during the day. I woke up from a nap, and I said, "I ate them." And she looked at me and she went, "Oh, buddy, you don't look good." Like I was, my face was fucking. She took a picture of it. She goes, "This is the lowest I've ever." And then she went out and told everyone, "Dad ate a plate of cookies." And LeeAnn came in. And she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, I couldn't help myself. Hot chocolate chip cookies. I couldn't. I couldn't. I've cheated on women. I've never cheated on LeeAnn, but I've cheated on women. You know that feeling when you're like, "Oh, this is fucking happening." That was the only feeling. It's like being out of control, completely out of control.
Yeah, that's right. I remember I grew up mostly in London, England.
That's
like,
crazy. You mentioned that in the new special.
I was born there, left when I was
Everyone
6
can
months
get
old.
Steve-O's special at Steve-O.com.
Yeah.
Get Steve-O's special at Steve-O.com. How much is it? Do you know how much it is yet? It's behind a paywall. It's worth it. It's fucking worth it. I want to say this is a stuff. But imagine if Jackass made Jackass, but Paramount wasn't included.
Well, it's stuff that would not be allowed to happen for Jackass.
No, it is every. I mean, there's surgery. There's.
You didn't even see the part yet where I get the general anesthesia in my vein while I'm riding a bicycle, and then if that's not fucked up enough. You know what an epidural is?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, 4-inch needle into your spinal cavity, and they inject a drug to paralyze you from the waist down. I found a motherfucker willing to give me that 4-inch needle in my spine and paralyze my ass while I was in a full sprint. So epidural foot race.
My asshole's tingling. I have a visual that I can't unsee, and that is you refusing to go under in Mexico.
Oh, yeah.
And I think of that every time I go I had a colonoscopy recently, and I just thought of you going,
Yeah.
You have the most insane digital footprint. But wait, I'm skipping all over the place.
So I'm a little kid in England, and in England they didn't have Reese's peanut butter cups. They just didn't have them. So like my friend whose father worked like at the U.S. Embassy. There was this like U.S. Embassy like canteen or whatever, and like go in there and like he would get me like that was where I would get my hands on them, you know, and I would have like just an absurd number of packs of Reese's peanut butter cups, and this is how I would do it. Like I wouldn't like open up the pack, and I was like I opened up every pack so that I wouldn't have the annoying like ripping open the wrappers to interfere. I just got all the opening the wrappers out of the way and then just stacked them like fucking like towers of and then just fucking
oh my god.
And then there's no limit.
I would have these fits with Girl Scout cookies.
Let me tell you about what was my.
Oh my god! I think I'm gonna relapse on sugar. I haven't had sugar in 74 days.
Oh damn!
I haven't had sugar in 74 days.
Then I'll tell you my rock bottom. What got me into the food program for the first time.
My mouth's actually fucking watering.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is bad. This is why you're not allowed to talk about partying stories in AA, huh?
I mean, it's not that you're not allowed to. It's
well, I've never been to AA. I'm just talking about her. Keep going.
Okay. My rock bottom at one point, one of my bottoms. I went to go see that Joker movie, the Joaquin Phoenix one.
By the way, sidebar, that's a great name for a special, Steve-O's Rock Bottoms. And you just tell all your rock bottoms. That's fucking fascinating.
Yeah, I dig it. Now, at the concession stand going into the Joker movie, I I knew I wanted caramel popcorn, and they have like the plastic tub, like the full fucking a little mini bucket of caramel popcorn. But I also wanted the red vines, and they only had the fucking jumbo pack, like a jumbo pack of red vines and a bucket of caramel popcorn. And I just sat there and I would take a handful of the caramel popcorn, fill my mouth, and then take a fistful of the red vines and chew it all together in concert. You know, like
my God.
just and this combination of caramel popcorn and red vines as I chewed it all together in my mouth was just so fucking delicious.
I love when people introduce you to shit like that. You know, someone introduced me to fucking to hot popcorn with peanut M&Ms inside it, and then all the peanut M&Ms get soft. And by the way, caramel popcorn sneaks up on you. You forget how fucking good it is.
Yeah.
You forget. Caramel popcorn is like a hand job from a dude. You're like, oh wow, this is better than I thought it was going to be. You're like, fuck. Every time we would have people deliver us, we have caramel popcorn downstairs right now that I've been looking at. I haven't had sugar in 74 fucking days.
Dude.
I haven't had sugar.
I'm proud of you, man. But isn't alcohol filled with sugar?
I haven't had alcohol.
Oh, what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
So you're just like white knuckling it?
No. I'm not sober, but like.
So you're smoking weed?
I'll smoke weed if I want to, and if I've always said I wish Xanax worked for me on a flight. It only works for me at home, and I don't find a usefulness for it at home.
Dude, it's so funny, man. Like, I remember when I was in rehab, and by the way, so far I've interrupted you twice. I'm really trying to be a lot better about that.
By the way, don't worry. I'm interrupting you nonstop. This is what we do. Keep going.
Okay.
If you don't like it, I'm so sorry.
I care about improving my...
I do too, but I can't help it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Okay. When I was in rehab, right? Like,
by the way, always interrupt me if you're going to tell a story about rehab.
Okay. For in rehab for drugs. Like, this is right around the time when it's so crazy that I was in the psychiatric ward, like the day or two after my intervention, and I was like, man, like it's like blowing snot. I mean, it felt like it was weird, and I was trying to figure it out. That was when I discovered that I have the huge hole in the wall in between
in the center.
Yeah, that, like, I don't even know if it's not is it a septum?
It's a septum.
Yeah, perforated septum. Not a deviated, it's a perforated, meaning there's a fucking hole going through my septum, the wall in my nose. And Knoxville came and visited me in rehab with Bam. And I was
That's
like,
ironic.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, I got this fucking hole in my nose. I'm like pretty sure. Like, let me see if I can fucking stick something through it, you know. And we're like, what are we gonna do? So Knoxville took the shoelace out of his Converse Chuck Taylor, and I literally just stuck the little plastic fucking nub at the end up one nostril, through the fucking hole, and threaded my nose with the shoelace.
Do you still have the perforated septum?
Oh yeah, it doesn't go away.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
It doesn't grow back like your liver?
No, it does not grow back. No, and I
Why did rehab work for you?
I was just ready, man.
You were ready?
I was ready.
Well, okay, here's the thing, because like I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. I mean, I'm gonna drink again one day. I don't know when. I think I'm gonna do it on my cruise, but I would have already have drank if you're watching this. Probably, I'm guessing, considering it's my birthday. I'm gonna be in the Cayman Islands. If you're watching this, I probably already drank. And by the way, I have no attachment to sobriety because I am smoking pot if I want to. So it's not sobriety for me.
California sober, dog.
California sober, yeah. I don't even. Is that a real thing?
I mean, I don't.
Not in your programs.
It's not something that has a particularly good track record that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Well, because then the thing I think with sobriety is it's nice to be clean and be like, yo, I got something I'm holding up. It's kind of nice to have it's like a record. It's the same thing with the diet.
Yeah, a streak. Yeah.
I find dieting similar. I've been eating pretty much caveman for 74 days. And so with a diet and not drinking, it's just really keep staying away from sugar. But I don't know like the treat thing is the thing. Like, was alcohol ever your thing?
I mean, I could never even fathom going a single day without it.
Really?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you went not cold turkey. Were you really just going, I'm done with it?
Well,
Or were there times where you're like, who is Steve-O? Like, what am I without alcohol?
It was gnarly, and I think the difference is I just was effectively humiliated into willingness. You know, like I could not control my behavior. Like I couldn't get through like any given day without perpetrating some bullshit that would make me feel so ashamed of myself that I wished that I could conjure up the courage to commit suicide.
For real?
And I couldn't. Yeah. So I was just like loser at life, loser at death, just trapped in misery.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I didn't even know it. Like I didn't even know it until I'd been like kind of sober for
How
a
many
little
days
bit.
did you do in rehab?
Well, it started in the psychiatric ward. I was on California's 5150 law,
They
which
call it
means
Baker Act in
yeah, exactly.
Florida. Yeah.
5150 law and Baker Act or Marchman Act, I think, in Pennsylvania. It means that they can hold you locked up in a psychiatric ward against your will for 72 hours, which is 3 days. But when they got me, and Knoxville was the one who brought me in, you know.
Yeah.
When they got me to the hospital, this guy was like waiting for me at the car as it pulled up with like a wheelchair to wheel me in. I was like, I don't need a wheelchair, and I spit on the guy. You know, like that was just normal for me at that time.
Dude, that should be, by the way, I would love to see. I've had a lot of friends go to rehab. That's kind of the deal. When you party, you have a lot of people go through the 12 steps. I've had a lot of apologies. I've had a lot
Not
of those
apologies,
things.
amends.
Amends, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my bad. Or my amends. And so,
The holidays are the busiest time of the year. Don't get stuck worrying about shipping orders. Let ShipStation do the heavy lifting so you or your team can put your time, money, and energy into more important things. Plus, when it comes to those inevitable holiday returns, ShipStation automates, recommends exchanges, and gathers customer feedback. So even if they bought the wrong size or color, they'll still have a great experience. I think this is the best way to deal with shipping on any scale, whether you're a small mom and pop shop or an enormous warehouse style business. You can easily automate shipping tasks and manage orders and returns in one simple dashboard. You can quickly and easily update crucial order information and reduce errors. They offer effortless integration everywhere you sell online, including Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, and more. ShipStation manages orders, prints labels, compares rates, optimizes every shipment, and automates delivery notifications. Let your customers shop risk-free this holiday with ShipStation. Go to shipstation.com/cave today and sign up for a free 60-day trial. That's shipstation.com/cave. Life insurance is an easy way to give your family peace of mind. It provides a safety net, so if something were to happen to you, your family can cover expenses while getting back on their feet after your death. Luckily, Policy Genius helps you compare your options from top companies and their team of licensed experts who are on hand to help you talk through it. Look, I'm a big believer in getting insurance. It's just something you have to do if anybody else relies on you. And it's something I did out of the gate, and I'm very happy that I made that choice. If you have a family, you have to do it. With Policy Genius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options offer same-day approval and avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policy Genius has licensed, award-winning agents who can help you find the best fit for your needs. They work for you, not the insurance companies. That means they don't have an incentive to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. Your family deserves peace of mind. A life insurance policy through Policy Genius can give it to them. Head to policygenius.com/2bears1cave or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/2bears1cave.
and so, but one of the things that I find the most fascinating is even the people with willingness going to rehab, there is a moment of panic where they decide to fucking burn it to the ground. I would love to find that Instagram feed of just one orderly who just doesn't look like he deserves respect, who gets destroyed every time people check into rehab.
Well, I'll tell you, like I spit on the first guy, and then Like, I was pretty convinced that I was going to calmly talk my way out of it, but they had me dead to rights. There was no talking. And when I kind of got the fact that I wasn't going to talk my way out of it and just be let go, I started to get grumpy. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, now I want to smoke a cigarette. Like, we're going to do this thing. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. And they're like, no, you're not going to. I was like, no, I'm going to smoke a cigarette now. And that's when I go to grab like a chair and I just pick up the chair and just throw it, right? But like, I don't even get that chair like into the air. Like, orderlies just come out of nowhere and just grab me. Yeah, like once you're gonna go and throw furniture in there, like that's where they draw the line. So I just get neutralized by orderlies, and they'd pick me up and carry me over and put me on a stretcher.
And who's with you? Is Knoxville there right now?
No. Now I'm on my own in the guts of the Cedar Sinai.
That would give me. I will tell you, I've joked about going to rehab a lot, and I often fantasize about how nice it would be to tap out for a month.
Yeah.
And just no phone, just really focus on myself, work on myself. The thing that pulls me back is the panic moment where I realize I can't leave.
Well, here's the thing. When they slam me down on this stretcher, and I realize now that they're going to strap me to it, and I'm like kind of claustrophobic.
Oh, man,
and
me too.
I don't want to be like strapped down to a stretcher.
It's one of the reasons
like,
I drink.
And I'm kind of like, oh, I'll be good. And they're like, it doesn't even fucking matter. They're like, it didn't even matter because then they put a needle in my butt cheek.
There we go.
It's called booty juice.
Oh, please.
And like, I just, like, the needle just knocks you out. Like, I'm taking this, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up from a nap. And now I'm in the part of the hospital where the doors don't, they don't, you're just locked in, straight up locked in. And because of my behavior, they've now changed my status from 5150, which is 72 hours, to 5250, which means they've got me for 2 weeks. And thank God, because had it been just 72 hours, that wouldn't have done it. I would have, if they let me out at 72 hours, I was straight back to the dealer's
How
house.
many days until you broke?
It was about 7 days.
7 days, you're like.
And the first 5 days were like me negotiating with myself in my head. Like, ooh, you know, like I know what they want to hear. I know what they want to hear, and I got to tell them what they want to hear to get out of here. And if I'm honest, I probably should knock it off with the ketamine and the cocaine and then, you know, the nitrous and the PCP and, you know, the aluminum head cleaner. Like, just like, but like, I'm not gonna like ever stop drinking, and for the love of God, I'm not gonna give up weed. You know, so I'm like negotiating this patchwork of what I'm gonna consider my sobriety. But like, I knew even then that my weed bone's connected to my booze bone, and my booze bone's connected to my coke bone, and my coke bone's. You just can't not.
I thought my weed bone was connected to my booze bone. I really did, and that's why I was like, when I stopped partying, I went.
I mean, you get cotton mouth. You're thirsty. You need a drink.
Oh no.
As soon as you have a drink, then you need to snort cocaine, and as soon as you snort cocaine, then you need to take pills.
I did a podcast with Dan, Dan Soder.
Okay.
And I didn't quit drinking. I didn't quit drinking for any other reason other than I wanted to lose weight. I dropped like 15 pounds, and for me, my old Bert was like, "We're good. 15 pounds is good. Let's go back and let's get back on the horse." And I'd be lying if I didn't say at certain times I feel like alcohol has helped define my personality. I'd be out of my mind if I didn't acknowledge that. So I would always lose some weight and get healthy, get back on the horse. And I thought I was going to with Dan. We did a podcast here. If anyone goes back, you can see the Bertcast of me and Dan. And I wanted to party with him because I wanted it to be fun. I wanted it to be fun and loose. And I said, I'm going to drink. I said to myself, I'm going to drink today. Today's the day I have to go back to drinking. It's very easy to start drinking again when you don't have like a ton of like not drinking under your belt. And then he said, well, why don't you just smoke pot? And I said, if I smoke pot, I'm going to drink. And he goes, just don't. And he goes, better yet, and by the way, Dan is no therapist. I love him to death. But he goes, you've already said you're going to drink, so if you have to drink, you can drink. But try not to. Just see if you can smoke weed. Because he goes, weed can be fun, because Dan's sober, but he's California sober. He had a big drinking problem. And so I smoked weed with Dan, and I had a really good time. And then I got tired, and I went to bed, and I slept. And then the next day I tried it again. And so I've done that throughout. However, I can understand the very, very slippery slope that everything is connected. Like even with sugar, because the second I have a cupcake,
Yeah, you and I are not good at moderation.
I'm not a moderate guy.
Yeah.
I like having rules. I love having rules. I do, and I love living inside the rules, and I like breaking the rules. Like I was talking to someone the other day. I forget. I'm sure it was on a podcast. I don't feel like I talk to anyone if it's not on a podcast.
Yeah, why would you?
No shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not that good at texting.
I'm horrible.
Yeah,
I'm
like
horrible.
how many people like get really butthurt over that?
Tom Segura and I had a fucking secret time.
Tom Segura is like very thoughtful and a lot better of a texter than you are.
We had a, I wouldn't say blow up, but a huge meeting, a big fucking thing about me not replying to people because I don't reply to anyone. Because what happens to me is like I did just answer 2 phone calls, which is crazy, but normally I don't. I don't.
Yeah,
but like, look, here's, I mean, these are just, well, that's you. You just texted me. This woman has mushrooms in Seattle. I don't really fuck with mushrooms.
Yeah,
I'd like to
that
microdose, but it's that for me is like.
Dude, I get too introspective on mushrooms, man.
Would you ever do ayahuasca, or is that's breaking sobriety?
I mean, like maybe I would back in the day, but I'm not. I'm good being
Are you happy?
sober. Ooh, you know, I put out my second book, and the final chapter. I think you're gonna really relate to this. The final chapter starts with that question in quotes: "Are you happy?"
Really?
And then I say that question has always fucked me up, man. It's offended me. You know, like it feels very like invasive. It feels very like personal, like, you know, because it upsets me so much because my gut instinct, like, am I happy? Like the first initial reaction when I contemplate the question is fuck no, I'm not happy. I'm gripped by anxiety and stress. Like I'm into this. I have this default setting that just like if everything's okay right now, it's probably not. It's definitely not going to be okay if you're like I'm screwed. Like I'm going to lose everything. Like I don't know why. It's just it's in my core. It's just what I believe, and I've got to like do something. Like I got to frantically hurry up and hustle to try to set myself up so that maybe I'll be okay. But I know that I'm not. But I got, you know, it's just something about like I'm defective. I'm not going to be okay. Like and that's like kind of the fire under my ass.
Yeah.
And the more I chewed on it, I thought about it, like really where I wind up at it, you know, or where I wind up in that chapter is that, you know, what is happy? What does it mean? You know, are you happy? That sounds to me like kind of synonymous with content.
Yeah.
And content sounds dangerously similar to fucking lazy. You know, like what's being happy gonna get me? What the fuck is it like what's the benefit of that? Like, well, no, I'm like, and I arrived at my conclusion, which is if I had the choice of being happy or being just this gripped by anxiety and stress, just fearful person, I'd choose the hustle, bro. I don't have fucking time to be happy, man. I want to fucking hustle. I want to accomplish. I want to strive. I want to fucking kill it.
I had a really hard time when I started when I wasn't boozing. I had a really hard time finding motivation to work out. So my motivation always has been, you owe this to yourself. You fucked up last night. Let's get in there and let's punish ourselves. And so I had a hard time finding the motivation. I think I've always had I feel like, I know I edit his name out or don't, but like has this, just edit his name out so he doesn't have to deal with the comments. But like has this, he always feels like the shoe's going to drop. Like the fucking, everything's going to fucking fall apart. When's comedy going to stop?
Even more than that.
Dude, edit both their names out so that everyone doesn't get into their comments and be like, because I know that, but it's like crazy. Because I have a thing where I go, I'm sometimes afraid that if I'm too happy, that means bad things are right around the corner. Like if I celebrate too much, or if I don't pay the air flight, the anxiety, if I don't pay the tax of anxiety, then that's the day I die. Like it's a weird. I understand what you're saying.
Well,
and and I'm not. And I will say this. Keep the name in. I'm not Mulaney or Ali Wong, who they are just so undeniably talented in everything they do, everything they touch, everything they grace us with. They're Chappelle or fucking Chris Rock. I'm Bert. I gotta fucking hustle. I gotta work hard. I gotta fucking spend time working on my act. Not that they don't work on their act, but goddamn it, I could watch Ali Wong eat crackers and I'd be like fucking entertained.
Tell you this.
Shoot.
Netflix said that my bucket list special is too much dicks.
Yeah. Oh, Steve-O, I can totally agree with him. I've never seen more eye to eye with Robbie Praw in my entire fucking life. By the way, I'm shocked you're releasing it online. I'm shocked that it's allowed to go online. I haven't seen porn that has more intensity than that.
Yeah.
I mean, that would get flagged on Pornhub. By the way, great promos. I would put all these on Pornhub. I would put all your fucking stunts on Pornhub.
I mean, it's aggressive.
Yeah, it's fucking impressive, dude. I love that you're multimedia. I love that you see things differently. I love the way you're doing your business. And to go back to you're not, there was a point in your career where things were gifted to you. And then I would argue that you messed enough of those up where you had to start earning them. Like Dr. Steve-O, right? That was like, you probably didn't even know, I bet you would be, I would be shocked if you knew what you made per episode on that.
I think I made 30.
Yeah. But you
$30,000.
But you probably didn't do much pre-production. You probably weren't sitting through post. You were just showing up, getting hammered.
I actually kept it together while we were filming, but on any day that we weren't filming, I was unreachable, off the grid. That moment of call Steve-O, give him 30 grand an episode, that went away. You go to rehab, and then you had to earn it back. And that's what I think. That's why I'm so impressed by where you are and what you're doing. And that's why I think this special's so, in fact, a special. So many people are doing specials these days. That is a special. But it wasn't gifted to you. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'm really proud of it too, man. Like my first special, like, man, it did more harm than good. I wasn't ready for it.
You don't think?
Yeah, I wasn't.
But here's the deal: none of us are ready for it. There's a lot of people making them that still aren't ready for it, and I wasn't ready for mine. I did mine on Comedy Central, comfortably dumb. Yeah. And to this day, I've had people ask to buy it because they look at the catalog and they're like, "I want that one." I won't sell it. I won't let people see it.
Oh, I want people to see my first one so that they can see how far I've come since then.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like watching a chef. It's like watching a chef who goes, "I love basil," and then you're like, and then you see his, and then you watch him cook with basil a ton, or garlic. Garlic's a good example. And then you're like, wow. And then when you try his later recipes, you're like, it's just garlic, and you're like, yeah, but if you didn't see the first thing of me telling you how much I love garlic, you'd never know how much I love garlic now. Like if you watch my early specials, I don't know. I'm not like, if you listen to my album, albums used to be what specials are today. Like once we all figured out how to make an album, everyone released albums. We all sold them online, and now that's kind of the same thing. Is now you realize it for fucking 30 grand, you can shoot a special, put it up on YouTube. A lot of people are doing it. Wow. That was what albums were. And you listen to my fucking album.
I spent so much more than that.
There's a dude in Chicago that's making them for 30 grand. He's really fucking good. I
paid that just to the one guy that we know.
Yeah.
The one guy.
Oh, I paid it to him too.
Yeah.
He's worth it.
Yeah,
Your special's beautiful, man. Where did you shoot that in England?
The Hackney Empire.
Really?
Check it out. That wall of TV sets.
Yeah.
7 feet tall, 24 feet wide. Not even including the wings, which were more mountains of television sets.
Your backdrop is impressive.
Yeah, that was my girl's idea. She's the production designer.
Really?
Yeah, it was like well over 100 old school TV sets, all like built together in a wall.
So I went back to my college recently. And I ran into a lot of people who were
FSU,
yeah. A lot of people were like, I can't believe you've become who you are.
I told you the FSU joke.
No.
What's the difference between the Atlanta Braves tomahawk chop
Yeah.
and the Florida State tomahawk chop.
What?
At Florida State, you get 3 credits for doing it.
That's pretty good. That's a good joke. Yeah, that's a good joke.
Do you constantly search for meaningful gifts for your loved ones that they can actually use and love? I have the gift for you. Skylight is a touchscreen photo frame that you can send photos to straight from your phone, and they appear in seconds. You can easily personalize Skylight with gift mode. Gift mode lets you add photos to a frame ahead of time, so as soon as they unwrap it and plug it in, their most treasured memories are going to instantly appear. The photos are displayed in HD resolution. It looks like a real photo frame. You set it up in portrait or in landscape, and we have the larger frame that's 15 inches. It can even be wall mounted. It is a great private way to share photos without posting it to the world, especially for parents who don't want to post all their pictures of their children everywhere online. I've said this numerous times. This is one of the easiest, greatest gifts. Super easy to set up. My mom set hers up. We've got them for my mom's. I sent one to my daughter at college so we can send her videos and make her giggle. It's such a great way to keep in touch and stay in touch with your family if you have family all over the country. As a special limited time offer for our listeners, get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com/bears. To get $15 off your purchase of a Skylight frame, just go to skylightframe.com/bears. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com/bears.
What do you call a person who speaks 3 languages? Trilingual. Someone who speaks 2, bilingual. Someone who speaks 1, American. Only 22% of Americans speak a language other than English at home. Start learning a new language this fall and be the exception, not the rule, because with Babbel, you start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. This fall, you can start speaking a new language with Babbel. Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations. All of Babbel's tips and tools for learning a new language are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching. I happen to have a real kick for this stuff. I really like doing it. I feel like it's a great way to use your time. Instead of scrolling and looking at videos and photos, you're actually learning something. Here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners at babbel.com/bears. Get 55% off at babbel.com/bears, spelled BABBEL.com/bears. Rules and restrictions may apply.
We have a good clown college at Florida State. Or
I've heard about it.
circus.
Yeah, I've heard about
Good
it.
circus. So, but there was a couple people when they said it, it meant a lot. Like I was like, yeah, you actually mean that. Like you didn't see me
Right.
doing anything after college.
Well, I'm there with you.
But who are those people in your life that are like when they go like, I'm really like, is your dad still alive?
Yeah.
When your dad says, I'm proud of you, that must be a new.
Oh my God. And my dad came out of retirement. He's my business manager now.
For real?
Yeah.
That's why you're so smart. You've done things that business-wise that I've watched from the outside that Tom and I have texted about privately.
Oh, wow.
That were like, well, fucking.
I mean, you beat me to liquid death.
You, no, but you're. It's one of the things that no one knows about you is you're a pretty slick businessman.
I certainly try. My dad, I made this documentary and it came out in 2004, 20 years ago. It was called Steve-O, The Early Years. It was like my way of finding a home for like low-level video footage that I started out with. It just wasn't that badass on its own. So I was like, let me tell the story of how I got to where I was. And my dad was interviewed for that documentary. Dad said, the world is full of stupid people who try to look smart and they fall on their ass doing it. But Steve, I think, is actually is smart, and he does a great job of looking stupid.
I'd rather underpromise and overperform.
Oh my God, that's the mantra that my dad gave. If I have a motto outside of if a little's good, a lot's better, that my dad instilled in me, it's never overpromise and to underdeliver.
Have you ever talked to this? It's a weird question, but like, talk about under promising but just delivering the exact promise. Is Chris Pontius? Like he really seems, ever since you first saw his cribs, he seemed like a guy who didn't need much and was really happy and content. But I always wondered if there's something like, I've always wondered a bunch of things. Does he have a good sense of humor? Like, does he watch like the same comedy you watch and get it? Why haven't you guys ever started a podcast? I mean, like the fact that he's not on your podcast, he's great on your podcast, but I've always wondered, like, have you ever talked to him as a friend and be like, hey man, you know what you should do? Because he just seems like the quintessential California fucking beach fucking smile dude.
First off, he just did start a podcast.
No way.
It's called The Pontius Show. He does it with his wife, May. And my episode, by this time, I'm sure, will be up.
Really?
Yeah. And the answer to that question, what's Pontius like? I think he's so just naturally funny. You know, like when Jackass started, there was a guy named Brandon DiCamillo.
I remember that guy. I met that guy.
Yeah, he was came from like Bam's circle
world,
of friends. Yeah. He was a part of Jackass in the very beginning, but he just kind of like he didn't want to be a part of it. Yeah. And Brandon DiCamillo plus Chris Pontius, I thought were the two most naturally talented guys.
So funny.
I was so jealous of them because they could just spin gold. They could make the most funny, like entertaining.
Pull up a picture of Brandon DiCamillo. I remember that guy.
Yeah,
I remember them, and then there was.
They didn't have to get hurt. They didn't have to take risks. They didn't have to be in horrible pain.
But do you feel like that? Because I probably understand. Like I good luck spelling Brandon DiCamillo.
It's not. There's no apostrophe. It's just D-I-C. Dico.
Yeah.
D-I-C-A. There you go. His freestyle rapping. Oh my God. Like, it's just like, I was just like, man, these guys just naturally have it. Like, for me to make entertaining footage, like I had to break myself. I had to and I was just jealous of those guys.
Him and Pontius.
But like they're naturally funny. And,
what's he doing now? What's Brandon DiCamillo? Type in go to the question.
I think that Brandon DiCamillo is bartending now, and he, I had somebody reach out saying, "Hey, Brandon's thinking about maybe getting back in the spotlight." Like, and I was like, "Wait, what? Wow."
Well, hey, Brandon, open invite to come do my podcast.
Dude, Brandon DiCamillo, like. He's singularly the most talented person that ever had anything to do with Jackass.
Really?
I would submit that he's more talented than all of us put together.
Really?
He's so talented.
Dude.
That guy is the most genius. But you know that movie Road Trip? Tom Green's character, how he's just never left the town. Like he's, Brandon's kind of a little bit like that.
That was kind of the beauty of all of Bam's crew was that, I mean, I could really get into the weeds about Jackass. Because like I had emotional attachment to all you guys. But the beauty of Ryan Dunn was that same beauty that Chris Pontius had, is that he was like, I'm cool here. Like, I'll go out to LA, I'll do A Minute to Win It with Steve-O and Guy Fieri. I'll do it. But like, I'm also really cool just going to the bar here and having dinner and hanging out with my friends. Like there's a real nobleness to someone who, and if we're going back in the weeds, it is what's sexy about Tom and Rogan is that they don't give a fuck about fame at all. They really don't. Like Tom genuinely does not want to be famous. He has no interest in fame. He wants to be an actor. He wants to do creative projects. He loves podcasting. He wants to build an empire. He wants to make a lot of money, but he does not care about fame. Whereas I don't mind it and I kind of enjoy it and it makes me feel nice. Like if a guy's like, dude, I love your movie. I go, fucking thank you. That means a lot to me. Like it means to me. If you tell someone, if you are looking, I dare you, this is a new challenge, the Two Bears Challenge. Go up to Tom and tell him that he is the funniest part of Two Bears and watch his face not move at all. He'll go, cool, and just walk away. Do it to me. Do it to me. Watch my look. I go, for real? You really think so? It's the difference of us. But those guys, that's what they had. Ryan Dunn didn't feel like he ever needed to leave Pennsylvania. You know?
Yeah, for sure. So Pontius, he's like that, man. He just he's so talented, man. He's so naturally funny, and back before Jackass, when they were doing like the Big Brother thing, like they just couldn't, they couldn't get him to go like on a trip, or he wanted to wrestle an alligator, but he just didn't. He's just like, there's like I don't know, if like a motivation factor, like a hustle muscle, like I think Pontius would love to be like, I was telling Pontius for the longest time, dude, you got to get in, like, start creating content, man. You can actually build your own audience. You don't have to like get green lit or approved budget, like whatever.
Yeah.
You don't need permission from anybody to work.
Yeah.
You can just work. And I launched my YouTube channel in 2013. First video I made, I uploaded 2 videos together. One was the condom prank, where I took this dishwashing detergent that looked exactly like semen, and I squirted that into a rubber. So it's like dishwashing detergent in a rubber. But
it's so funny you say rubber. I've never said that word. Like I've never used that term for that thing.
Okay.
And I've just said it. But like today, I heard Jay-Z say it in a song with Meek Mill, or with Memphis Bleak, and I went, "That's crazy that he said rubber."
I had
Keep
and it's just like, and I put a bunch there, so it just looked like the most massive load. Tied it in a knot, put it in my my front pocket, and then I just go waltzing out on Hollywood Boulevard. So people come up to me and they're like, "Oh, dude, can I get a photo?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, you can!" And dude, check this out. pull it out of my pocket and like swing it, and like people are like. Their reaction to it, it's just like was always they don't even care. They want to get a picture with you so bad, By the end of the prank, like I'm like laying it on people's heads, like I'm swinging it into their faces, like it's just incredible. And the other video I made was like a Pontius breaking a beer bottle over my head, like a real one.
Yeah, a real one.
Completely.
That's crazy. Empty. No, full. It's
No,
gotta be full.
I'm empty.
How can you break it? It's hard to break an empty beer
As
bottle.
long as you follow it through enough. It's only like as long as it breaks, you're cool. If it doesn't
break,
break,
you get knocked unconscious.
Not unconscious, but and I put them up together.
So you got to go hard enough.
Yeah, and Pontius is the only person I trust to do that.
Really?
He's stern but fair. He's got
I bet Bam, from what the videos I've seen, I bet he'd take a swing at you right now.
Yeah, maybe. But
By the way, sidebar, he does look good today. Like today, he looked good. I saw him. He's doing a big Comic-Con thing, and I follow him. He's when you talk about I'm careful with my words because I'm a fan of his. But when you talk about like someone said to me,
blowing it. When you talk about blowing it,
he has. Like someone said to me the other day, it's a shitty thing, but people go, if you quit drinking, you'll lose all your fans. And then I go, no, I definitely won't.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely, I think that they don't even see me drunk.
I mean, there were people, I don't know how many of them there still are, but like I would see people say, oh man, Steve-O, you were funnier on drugs, man. You were way funnier.
That person's a fucked up person.
That person is just plain wrong.
Yeah, and you wouldn't be here. And it's like saying Chris Farley was funnier on drugs. No, I would still love him here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, and I say that to Bam is like, it is a weird thing because I don't,
I mean, I tell Bam the same thing, man, dude, like you create content, man. Like Bam, just like D. Camillo and Pontius, like Bam did it all. Like you want to talk about
$300,000 an episode on fucking Viva La Bam.
I mean, that was the budget for that's a pretty standard budget.
But that's a lot budget wise to piss away.
I mean, when it's the total budget for a basic cable show, I mean, I don't know. I would guess that we had a $300,000 budget for Wild Boys.
No, but not per episode.
I would guess. I mean,
I imagine it is. I'm sure it is. I think it was $150 for fucking Trip Flip. Like, and like we didn't have to do anything. So I'm sure I bet your budget was 150. Did you guys fly first class on Wild Boys?
Sometimes.
Really? Who's in charge?
We started out with a sponsorship for the show with Virgin Air.
How quick did you lose that?
Like after the first trip, I think. Oh. We were what was it? We were trying to like see. We were going on some trip, and we went and bought like as much tanning lotion as we tried to put like the most tanning lotion on ourselves to just try to get the craziest tan that tanning lotion could possibly get us.
Yeah, Maui Babe is what we used to use.
And we were just like naked and covered in tanning lotion and just frolicking in the first class lounge, and that was it. I think it was one trip.
Does Pontius party?
I think that like he tells me that he hasn't had a drink in a long time. I have no reason not to believe him.
Did he used to party a lot when you did Wild Boys?
He we drank a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah, we drank a lot, and there was a lot of dry goods, like not like powdered goods, but like just pills and stuff.
Really? Yeah, I talked to Tom about it the other day about drinking, and I said we were just casually talking. I think it was even longer. I said, do you think you could? We were talking about Huberman. We had Huberman on Two Bears.
Dude, what a great guy.
He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
I want to get him on my thing.
Yeah, he's
on the wild ride.
He's fucking awesome. He's awesome. But he was saying having one drink a week is like normal, and I was like, well, and it doesn't compute to me. It's like, why even have one?
Right.
Like, why just don't save the calories, or like it means one doesn't do anything to anyone. Are you doing it to share? Like, what is it like a formal thing you're doing? Like, I just, everyone, I don't have like, I don't know why you're doing it.
Right.
And then I said to Tom casually, we're talking, and I was like, can you imagine like what's the longest you could go without a drink? And he was like, I don't know when the last time I had a drink was. I was like, wait, what do you mean? I was like, when was the last time you smoked weed? And he was like, I don't know, like a couple months ago. And I was like, that for me was like, I go, really? And that's right. Like, I think I wasn't drinking at the time, and I was like a game changer. I was like, sweet, you don't like have a drink at the end of every day? And he was like, no. I was like, how do you like dial down? And he goes, I just sit on the couch. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I think the majority of people listening right now, I would argue, I put it on my social media, the majority of people probably have more than one drink a week, I would think. Or they don't drink at all.
I mean, yeah. I think that the difference is like a normal person doesn't think about how many drinks they have.
A normal person doesn't think at all about it?
Yeah, doesn't. It never even enters their mind. Like,
someone told me they went to...
only an alcoholic will ever even wonder or think about if they're an alcoholic. Because that question would never even come up.
Then I'm not an alcoholic. People have asked me that so often, and I go, no. And they're like, really?
I think that you've told me directly that you think you have a problem.
No, I have a problem with everything, with food, with sex. Like, I everything. I have a problem with everything. That's just my personality. But yeah, I think Dr. Drew kind of analyzed me, and he was like, you're not an alcoholic, but you definitely drink too much.
Dr. Drew tried to tell you that you're not an alcoholic?
Dr. Drew would call him right now.
Give it a shot.
By the way.
Huberman's got to be disgusted with you.
Huberman doesn't know what to do with me. But Huberman lives like he's a scientist.
He lives in Malibu.
He's a scientist. What do you expect? It's like, it's not, I mean, not like I don't think he's the guy that you introduce to someone and don't give like a little
Drew.
Oh yeah. I don't think you're giving
He's a scientist, and you're a science experiment.
Yeah, Huberman's like he's an anomaly. He's an anomaly. How many Hubermans do exist in the world? He's in the 1% of that brain, right? He's a tenured professor at one of the biggest universities in the country, and all he talks about is longevity, and so like, if he looks at any of us, he's going to see problems in all of us. Dr. Drew.
You know, Dr. Drew is.
Should I FaceTime him?
Yeah, please. He's whenever I go to a doctor visit, they're like.
By the way, if he says I'm an alcoholic, edit this out. Keep going.
Whenever I want to tell him this if he picks up.
Okay.
Whenever I go into a doctor appointment, they ask, "Who's your primary care physician?" And I say, "Dr. Drew Pinsky." Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah, because at one point, I tattooed a fan and I wasn't wearing gloves. Didn't even occur to me. I was just like, I was kind of choked up on the tattoo machine. Like I was just like, I tattooed Yo Mama's name on a guy's butt cheek. And so he could say, I got Yo Mama's name tattooed on my butt. And that's what it says. And I showed my girl the video of that. And she's like, you tattooed somebody without wearing gloves? And I'm like, she goes, we're not having sex without a condom for the next 6 months until you, to clear the window for like HIV risk.
What?
And I'm like, what? So she made me like wear rubber. And I went running to Dr. Drew to go get an AIDS test. Like
he has those on him?
Yeah, I mean, dude, he's practicing.
No, I meant like in his pocket. He's like, yeah, come here.
No, I went to his office. He's like a physician.
He has an office?
Dude, he's a doctor with a.
I thought he was one of those like Dr. Cosby doctors.
No,
he's a real doctor.
He literally has a medical practice. Patients.
I think I think you're confusing him with like Dr. J.
No,
Dr. J is the same doctor as Dr. Drew.
Like,
I'm kidding. I know he's a real doctor.
Right. So he gets my blood test. I didn't have AIDS, and I was like, "Hey, can I get a couple extra tubes in my blood just to fuck around with?" Yeah. And he's like, "Yeah, you bet." So.
No. Wait. What were we just talking about right before then? Huberman.
Yeah. Like, see, there he is in his. He's a legit.
He's not wearing gloves.
Well, yeah, I don't know, but yeah, so.
No, Dr. I've talked. If you don't think I've talked to Dr. Drew about my drinking before, you're out of your fucking mind. I also have a theory. You're not gonna like this theory.
Okay.
I believe everyone who is an admitted alcoholic sees everyone's drinking problem. I think it's like they're hyper aware of everyone's drinking problem and see everything as a problem. Because it's really hard talking to anyone that's in recovery and not convincing you have a problem. The same way that like when COVID was going around and everyone was like, is that a cough? You got COVID. And like it was like contagious. Right. I think recovery is contagious.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. And whatever. My view on it is that it's like people who have diabetes, they're not mad at sugar and they don't like.
Oh, I think they are. You don't think people with diabetes want to eat sugar?
Well, sugar's not a bad thing. It's just that they can't have it.
Yeah, but I think they live a life where they go, I would love to be able to eat cake at a birthday party. Like talk to a child who's got diabetes. They would love to have cake like everyone else. Do you think they want to sit off the side and have an orange? Probably not.
Yeah, but they know they can't have it.
Yeah.
So it's not that sugar's bad. It's just that they can't have it.
Yeah.
Like I just can't have it.
Yeah. No,
I agree with that. Alcohol's not bad. And if you're getting away with it, I love it. Like I'm not even saying it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
And maybe you're not an alcoholic. I don't care. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to figure it out on Two Bears, One Cave.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't want you to think that like I'm,
No, I don't think.
I don't have a judgment around it.
I don't think you ever have. I don't think I've been able to party in front of you and you've never said anything. I think one of the cool things is I like talking to people that have been through recovery because I like to hear everything. I like hearing opposing opinions, even of my own. Because I talked to Tom about it today. We were talking and he was like, "Are you drinking for your cruise?" I was like, "I don't know." I was like, "I have no fucking idea. I don't really want to. Like, I haven't. The only drink I can really have on this diet is tequila, and I haven't wanted a tequila. That's the one thing that'll keep you in ketosis."
The last time that we had you on my podcast, you had just discovered
tequila and soda.
That tequila is good for you, or what was it?
My recovery was through the fucking roof.
You're like, now that I've switched to just tequila and soda with lime. My Whoop band is telling me.
My sleep was like 97% every fucking night. It's the sugars are lower in that than like beer and everything else, and especially like a mixed drink.
How great is Whoop, dude?
I fucking love my
I love
Whoop.
it.
What was your sleep recovery last night? I'm like through the roof sober.
I'm
Or not
yellow.
sober,
I'm
but,
yellow today. I was I couldn't fall asleep.
How do you sleep? Do you sleep well?
I get sleep apnea. I'm on this.
See, okay, don't get me started. I think sleep apnea is I think that's big pharma. I really do.
Maybe.
I think they tell everyone they have sleep apnea because the machines cost money. I'm telling you.
Okay,
because you know they do that with everything, with all the pills.
Hey, I'm not backing big pharma.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm going to tell you how it came up. There were like twice I'd been diagnosed with it, but it's just my girl. I sleep with my girl in bed every night.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yo, it freaks me out. It freaks me out." She says, "I don't like it. You're sitting there and like you don't breathe for," and then all of a sudden,
you've got witnesses. She goes, you got witnesses where you go.
She's like, yeah, like you don't breathe, then. And so she fucking made me.
Yeah.
You know.
But where was sleep apnea? I'm just curious. Where was sleep apnea before? Did we just lose people? Because I heard diabetes. I heard before diabetes got discovered, people just died.
Right.
Like they just died.
I think that sleep apnea, if I'm not mistaken, it like there's your heart attacks.
For real?
I think so. Yeah. I think that it, like over the long run, it weakens your heart.
Speaking of Huberman losing his mind, he's listening to us talk about all this, going like, I need to get on Steve-O's podcast and correct these.
Good.
I went to one of those doctors where you get ready for a TV show.
Who are we going to call next that's going to not give a fuck and blow us up?
No. Drew must be with a patient. We could call
Remember how
Huberman.
funny it was when you showed me your dick? that really was a hit of an episode, man.
It was.
Yeah.
It was back when we cared.
I don't know that this was a bad one. I mean, we were a little bit all over the place.
Not a bad one.
I mean, yeah, I was telling great stories and you fucked it all up, but it's, you know.
How did I fuck it up?
Well, because I remember I was talking about it a bit in the psych ward. That was the juiciest shit ever, and then you derailed it.
Don't you?
I just fuck with you, dude.
But
dude, when I was in so I'm in the psych ward, right?
Okay,
and then like a week into it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go get. I'll say something fucked up. That when I finally was like, okay, I'll go to rehab. I went to the rehab where the director of the chemical dependency unit was Dr. Drew Pinsky.
No.
I showed up there and I was like, dude, and I don't even know that I've ever even said that at a public level. He doesn't work there anymore, but he was the director of the chemical. He ran the rehab. And I got there and I was like, Drew, I know that most alcoholics like don't get it. They don't like. The statistics are very bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to give myself every advantage I can. However long you recommend I be here in this rehab, I want to stay significantly longer to give myself a better chance. Which is like, here's a blank check for this expensive rehab. You know, it's a crazy move. And he said, wow, I like to hear that you're so committed, but I don't recommend you stay here more than 30 days. What I do recommend, if you're serious, is go into a sober living, you know, like a halfway house.
Yeah.
And so I did, man. I stayed in a sober living, like a halfway house, until I had been sober for an entire 2 years. Yeah.
I didn't know that. 2 years?
Yep. I was shooting Jackass 3D. I had to get like, hey, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna miss curfew tonight because I'm getting catapulted into the sky in a porta potty full of shit. Like, all right, okay, well, we'll give you permission, you know, but make sure you get back and scrub the toilet in here. You know?
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had a roommate.
Dr. Drew.
Yeah,
Dr.
there
Drew.
he is.
Hey, Drew, you're saving my life here.
Okay.
Yeah, Drew.
Hello, Steve-O. What's happening, buddy?
Hey, do they need to edit out that I said that you were the director of the chemical dependency unit at the rehab that I went to straight from the psych ward?
Do you need to edit that out?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
It's up to you. You're the patient.
All right. Next question. When I go to doctor visits, they always ask me, who's my primary care physician? And I say, it's Dr. Drew Pinsky.
Yes, I've been receiving some of the stuff from the GI doctors. I've been reading it carefully, and so I am happy to take that role for you.
Did you get one from the breast augmentation surgery consultation that I went to?
I did, but I look forward to reading about it.
Do you know what? That one's actually in jeopardy. My girl might be getting through to me that getting double D tits is disrespectful and unfair to her.
I see. You make her feel diminished by having your big tits. I understand. But you guys have always had an interesting dynamic. It might
Yeah.
add a layer to things.
I know. I'm not calling it off. I'm just not getting my boob job on December 1st now.
Okay.
I'm kicking it down the road. I'm doing it one step at a time. I'm going to get the big dick tattooed on my forehead and keep that for a few months, see what comes out of it. And
You're getting a big dick tattooed on your forehead?
Yeah.
Ted will love that.
My dad, Ted, will love that. And I've just got to find out how long do I last before I get it lasered off. And I'm not going to keep it forever.
Okay, fuck. I was like,
I'm not going to keep it forever,
I was
dog.
like, man, you should.
Plan, Steve.
What?
He's gonna love this entire plan. He's gonna dig it.
Yeah, Dad. Yeah, Dad. Dad's unretired. He's my business manager now.
Wait, which ones are you getting lasered off? Are you getting any other ones lasered off?
I got shit and fuck lasered off my knuckles. Hey, did we have another question for Drew? Oh, is Bert an alcoholic?
Well, we have a saying in the program, right? You spot it, you got it. So I'm curious what you think.
Hold on. That's actually my argument. I think everyone in recovery only sees alcoholism because they couldn't. Yeah. What do you fucking nope?
The literature tells me that it's not my role to diagnose another alcoholic.
Okay,
we just say, hey, if you find that once you start you can't stop, we have a solution. We're not pushing it on you, but we're here when you're ready.
Say too. Steve, that's what I say too, right? It's like, look, it's on you, and you know it's hard work. You used to tell me that, for that matter. You always told me, you would say, I'm not ready, but when I'm ready, I'll go all in, and you did. You were as good as your word.
Yeah.
And,
I remember when you reached out to me for season 1 of Celebrity Rehab. I'll never forget my response to you. You said, hey, I've got this show, Celebrity Rehab, maybe it could be helpful for you. And I said, Drew, I have far too much respect for the recovery process to make a mockery of it on television. That was my way of
I remember that, but the one I was thinking of is when you smashed that table. And I was backstage with you saying, dude, we're going to have to do something. You're like, fuck you. I'll let you know.
Yeah. Sure. I remember, too, you had another show where it was about quitting smoking. And I said, Drew, I will smoke cigarettes through a fucking hole in my throat until I'm dead. There's no way I'm quitting. And look at that. I quit more than 15 years ago.
But back to Bert. Bert has a binge issue for sure. Whether that's real deal stuff, it's hard to tell. He gets it under control on his own, so it's hard to, he actually does get it under control, right? So when people can do that, it's hard to say, well, you got to follow me. We've got some ideas. But we'll see, if he wants help, there's help available.
There you go. I love it.
I'm good.
Fucking
this is the weirdest episode of a podcast I've ever done. I'm holding a phone talking about my drinking with Steve-O and Dr. Drew.
Yeah, well, I look forward to. Oh man, I reference you in my new comedy special. I'm dying to show it to you.
Okay, I can't wait.
I talk about how I met this guy who said he could put a 4-inch needle into my spine, inject a drug into my spinal cavity, which would render me paralyzed, and then rip out the needle so I could take off and see how far I could sprint before I collapsed, paralyzed on the ground. And you said, wow, do I hate that idea.
That fits.
Yeah.
Bert, both you guys do this to me.
Do what?
Both scare me. You're my friends, and you do, and you.
First of all, my blood sugar's at 82 today. My fucking blood pressure is better than it's ever been. I'm down almost 40 pounds. Like I'm
proud of you.
Yeah, I know.
And you look, and you guys look. Steve-O's years into recovery. His recovery is a inspiration.
Very much so. I sent him a text of that.
And he's still talking about sticking needles in his spine and doing anesthesia and riding a bike and scare the shit out of me all the time. So Good times.
I'll talk to you later, Drew. I love you.
Yeah, dude.
I love that guy.
Yeah, dude. Who doesn't?
It's good to have him in your life. Trust me, I've talked to Drew a lot.
Well, I'm allowed. He used to tell me that because we were friends, he wouldn't be my doctor.
Oh yeah.
But now he's violated his own rule.
Do you wish you had done the episode with Tom?
No.
You sure?
I mean, I would like to have that experience at some time.
Wow. Do you know Tom?
I know him not quite as well as you.
You picked the right one.
I know him not.
Trust me, our friendship, me and your friendship is, I'm interested to see you do Two Bears with Tom.
I would love to.
He's the best.
And dude, check this out. The last time Tom was on my podcast,
yeah.
We started off and with him saying, "You know how much I love you." He says, "I'm here. I just canceled an MRI appointment for some MRI that he was like, there's like a very difficult to get that appointment, and he finally got it, and he said, I love you so much that I put you over that."
Tom, I'll tell you, man, Tom doesn't fuck around. He doesn't fuck around. He will not be your friend. He will not talk to you if he doesn't like you. He just won't. He's very, very, very different than me and you.
He has boundaries. Yeah, I mean, and that meant
boundaries.
Yeah, it meant so much to me, and on Your Mom's House, I've been on there a couple times. Always the best time.
Yeah, well, I think Your Mom's House is such a great fit for his brain because it really is the way what makes him giggle. What makes him giggle is that shit. Fucking he's what makes him giggle and what makes me giggle are two different things, but what makes us giggle together is the same thing.
Okay. He likes really violent, disturbing stuff.
I do not.
He's gonna love my special.
He's going to absolutely love your special. He will buy it behind the paywall at stevo.com. He will watch it over and over again, and he will have you on and tell you his favorite parts. Your chick talking about shit will be one of his favorite.
He's gonna love it all. He's gonna love when I'm actually simultaneously falling out of an airplane and ejaculating all over the place.
By the way, that's the one part I wanted to see.
I'll show it to you.
I have a meeting that started 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Buddy, I love you to death. I'm so proud of you. And I say proud, and I have no attachment to that pride, meaning I didn't do anything to watch you succeed. I just watched you succeed from afar as a fan that has known of you the entire time I've been in this business. And to see where you are today is inspirational. And don't think I don't take anything lightly about any things you ever say to me, life-wise and health-wise and direction-wise.
I mean, dude, I'm kind of just like fucking with you. Like,
I know.
I'm not like.
I know, but I want you to know you're an inspiration. There are a lot of people I draw inspiration from where the things you've done they're mountains that not everyone climbs.
I'm not going to even argue with that. I have no idea how I was bestowed with the willingness to become what I've become.
It's impressive. And anyone who doesn't see all your accomplishments for what they are is lying to themselves and or ignorant. So, I'm congratulations on the new special.
It's really fucking good.
Yeah, it's really fucking good. And I hope all our fans go out and support you, number one, but trust me, it's something you guys will fucking like. And Your Mom's House fans, this is up your alley. Let
me tell everybody this. I taped my special 2 shows in one night. The first show, 5 audience members passed out. One of them on their face.
Dude, I think I saw that one.
No, yeah, you saw that one.
That's fucking. That's just the promo. Is that promo right there of you of that guy fucking taking a header.
The Late Show, I think only 3 people passed out, but I went around the world and made audience members just pass out. And the worst is when people they think, oh, I don't feel right. After I saw that video, I don't feel right. And they get up and while they're walking, they fall down.
Yeah.
So many people in ambulances with broken noses and all the rest of it. I've never heard of a Jackass movie making people pass out in the audience and literally
This is bigger. I mean, this is more intense than Jackass ever has been, in my opinion. And I've watched every Jackass there is.
Like it's like better when it comes to comedy and stuff is very subjective.
Yeah.
But it is objective, black and white. Like you can't do on Jackass what I did for this.
Not at all. Not at all.
And because you can't break the law, you can't.
Will it ever go to YouTube? No, it won't go. It can't go to YouTube.
It can't go. Pornhub's
Can't go
the
anywhere.
best bet.
It's going to either Pornhub or go to steve-o.com.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you know, I did 11 years in comedy clubs before I graduated to the theaters. Now I'm 13 years into comedy, and like finally I kind of got that craft like to a place where I just like I'm comfortable doing it.
Yeah,
and my world's converged. So it's Jackass meets stand-up, and at a level that is like literally the bar has been raised. And
it's a natural progression for you. It really is. And I think, like I said, I saw the one before this, and I fucking love what you're doing. But you're a multimedia dude. This is the natural progression. It's like if Mike Tyson did a one-man show, but then showed you all the shit he's talking about. But you for lack of better words, for two dudes who've done it their entire life, you underpromise and overdeliver. And it's a fucking great special, dude.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, brother. I love you.
I love you too.
And yeah, dude, you're not an alcoholic, dude. Who cares?
Hey, listen, we all die one day.
Yeah.
Bert and Tom and Bert. One goes topless while the other wears a shirt. Tom tells stories and Bert's the machine. There's not a chance in hell that they'll keep it clean. Here's what we call 2 bears, 1 cave.